everything I got to get out of bed. You see everything I'm not when I take a picture. That's an image of pain I can't get out my head. These migraines ain't a gift that I want to give.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, brothers. God energy, source energy, whatever you want to call that entity, right, is good. It's better than good, actually, man. I'm gonna tell you this, brothers, and I mean this to the core of my heart. If I don't live to see another day on this planet, I'm gonna call it good, man. I'm going to have to call it good because I've wanted life. Now, I plan to live to see 100 years old, brothers. But if today is my last day on this planet, brothers, on everything I talk about, I'm gonna call it to the good, man. I'm happy, brother, because I've won at life. And what I mean by that is anytime you can find your purpose, anytime you can walk in your purpose fearlessly, brother, you've won at life. I'm not talking about how big your crib is. I'm not talking about how big the cars in the driveway. I'm not talking about how fine your wife is. I'm not talking about all the trips you're able to take. I'm not talking about that, brother. I'm saying if you are a man and you have found your purpose and you have connected to source energy in that purpose, and now you're walking in your I am, brother, you've achieved the ultimate. You've achieved the ultimate, man. There is no higher level of peace that's associated with that, brothers. Anything else that comes after that is simply icing on the cake. Now let's talk about that icing, brothers. Let's talk about that icing. I was up one morning, man. It was probably 0 dark 30, bro. And I can just remember having this aha moment. I remember having this aha moment, man. And I remember, like when I say aha moment, I can remember just having a much better understanding of certain levels of success. I can remember just having a better level of understanding on certain financial tools within success, right? And I can remember this. I can remember reaching out to my mentor. Sun wasn't even up yet, man. I reached out to my mentor and I said, brother, I just want to say thank you, man. Let me just pause, man. My mentor, and I think I'm going to have him on the show here in the next couple of days, if I can see if he has some free time. You know, I consider him to be a financial mogul. The brother has his hands in a few different things. Real estate, has agency, has, you name it, he has his hands in it. And at a very young age, I would consider the brother has put himself in position to generate, to have 7-figure months. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, I reached out to him, man. I said, I just want to say thank you, brother. I said, I want to say thank you, man, just for giving me all the game you've given me over the last, number of months, and the game that you will continue to give me, right? I said, I understand that the information that you shared with me is going to change my life drastically. It's going to change my lineage's life drastically. It's going to somewhat change the lives of people that are within close proximity of me. You know what I'm saying? I said, I understand that, man. I said, I just want to tell you, thank you, man. And I said this. I said, man, I'm sure that at some point in time, you were asking yourself, like I wonder if Soul is really picking up on the game I'm giving him. Because the brother would take certain aspects of financial gain and break it down to nuts and bolts and the psychology of the world and how things move. It's like, and I know you were like, I wonder if Soul is really grasping the weight of the information that I'm giving him. And I said, brother, I understood what you were giving me. I said, I fully understood what you were giving me. I said, even when you weren't directly giving me game, I said, even when we were just chopping up about random stuff, I was still getting game just off of your frequency, just off of your mentality, just off of the way you view the world. I said, so brother, I was getting game at all times when we were chopping, right? I said, but what I fully understood was I couldn't just take that information and run with it. In other words, I couldn't just take that information and implement it and want to get success off of it. I said, because what I also understood was to use that to benefit off that information, I had to first become somebody else. I'm going to tell you this, brothers. Becoming is so far important than focusing on results. You have to understand that becoming a thing is so far more important than focusing on results, man. It's about becoming. It's all about becoming, brothers. Prime example, man. Like, I love talking about my son. My son is 15 years old, right? And a lot of the information we talk about on this channel, my son is already hip to. He's been hip to it. When my son was 13, my son, he's already read The Alchemist. He's already read U Squared by Price Pritchett. He's already read The Richest Man in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is this, even though my son had that information and knew it was valuable, because my son was like this, I'm giving my son the game. I'm explaining to him the way I generated certain things and manifested certain things and the way I move. And it's like, look at the life we have now and look what we're able to do. I said, it's based on the information I got from this, these books, just a smidget of it, right? So he understands that it was game. But at the same time, as far as like utilizing that information, it was really, he wasn't in position. He wasn't in position. He understood the value of it, but he wasn't in position to really utilize it. But now my son is 15, right? Now my son has got his first job, right? Now he has income coming in. Now he's in a workplace, moving around with other people. Now he's starting to get a small taste of what life is going to be like. Now he can take that information and say, you know what? I've always had these nuggets of gold on hand. Now I can start slowly implementing them. My son at 15, my son is already investing in stocks. My son is already talking about starting his own company, LLC, and the whole nine. He's already talking big boy moves because he had the information. He had to first become somebody else first. He had to become the person that could utilize that information, brothers. And I'm saying all that to say this, man. A lot of us, man, we can get on the internet. We can get mentors. We can get, all these bits of knowledge that are gold. You can get on the internet right now, man, and get gold. Man. And sometimes we listen to information and we'll say, you know what? Is that valuable or is it just nonsense? If it's coming from a person that's in position that you want to be in, brother, take it all in. Because at certain points in time, it's not going to make sense. Certain points in time, even the information that you get, that you understand that's coming in, so you really just have to hold on to that, man. Don't utilize it, instantly, brothers. You have to understand you have to become a person first. Because this is what most people do. Most people get valuable information and run. And when they get this information and run, what they're doing is, because they haven't become a different person, what they're doing is looking at results and wanting these results to build them up. They're literally hustling backwards. They're looking at these results, and once you lose a few pounds or once you get a few dollars in the bank, now you're becoming based on that. But I'm telling you this, brothers, when you move like that, I'm not saying you can't find success like that, but it's very difficult and it's very dangerous. It's very difficult and it's very dangerous. Because you got to understand, man, that when your I am is based on your results, then whenever your results are affected, your truth is affected. You know what I'm saying? If you're basing your I am off the zeros in your bank, then as soon as something comes through and takes that, now your I am is affected. Prime example is Kanye. Kanye went from multi-billionaire to 400 million overnight. If his identity was based on that dollar bill in the bank, Kanye would have woke up the next morning and jumped off the tallest building he could set his eyes on. Because since his money crashed, his identity would have crashed. his I am would have crashed. So that's why I'm saying, brothers, it's not about the results. It's about becoming. It's about becoming. And what I'm really saying is you have to have your mood, your frequency, your energy has to constantly be focused on your I am as opposed to what you're seeing. I'm saying it again. Your mood, the way you move, the way you navigate, the way you see the world, it has to be based on your identity, your true I am, as opposed to being based on your results. As opposed to being based on your results. And I know I use this example all the time, man, but this is the perfect example for this, man. I can remember when I was like, bro, my back is hurting, my legs are hurting, my lungs are hurting, and everything is just sore. I said, I'm at 260 pounds or whatever. I said, I got to get this weight off of me. This is what I did. I woke up one morning and I got on the scale. Boom, 260. I said, okay, let me get up and grind. I was going to the gym. I'm working out. I'm hour cardio. I'm sweating. I would get up the next morning, get on the scale. Boom, okay, 260. That 260 became my identity. I could have ran from California to Florida back nonstop. If I was still letting that 260 be my truth, it don't matter what I did. My truth was going to calibrate my life. And I'm telling you, brothers, I did this for almost 2 years, and I ended up gaining weight because I didn't know that I was still making this my truth, man. I can remember just being frustrated with the whole weight loss game. I remember throwing my scale either I put it in the closet or put it up under the sink for several months, and I just started moving like a person that was healthy, man. I just started moving like, started thinking like it, started consuming myself with the information. Looked up a few months later, man, I was in the 230s without even knowing it. I'm telling you, brother, as soon as you stop focusing on the results and just focus on your I am, brother, it's far more important to become than to focus on the results. Far more important to become. Going back to money, man, I'm telling you this, bro. If you want to be, $100,000 per year type person, and you want to be a 6-figure per month earner or whatever it is, man, don't look at your bank account. I mean, go in there and pay your bills and stack and move your money to the right places, invest, do what you got to do. But I'm telling you, by no means, don't let your identity be created by what that bank statement says, brother. You have to understand that's literally an afterthought of who you are. And I'm not going to go into the recipe. You can go into the recipe and dive into that conversation. You have to understand that everything you're seeing in this third dimension is an afterthought of your I am. So to focus on any afterthought is simply regurgitating your old truth. It's simply regurgitating your old truth, man. So look at that for what it is, and look at that number and say, you know what, that's the old me. But then come back and center and say, you know what, this is my I am. Despite my bank account saying I only got $1,000 in there, or despite my bank account saying I'm in the red, this is my I am. I'm gonna walk, talk, move, breathe, and everything like this new version of myself. And in a matter of time, brothers, that truth will become that information will become your truth. And once that becomes your truth, you'll be having that aha moment. You'll say, I understand now, because now you've become a thing. And without any effort, just by you continuing to walk in that, doing those things, working and sacrificing all that stuff, that bank account will change. Because now it's a new afterthought created. You know what I'm saying? Don't focus on the results, man. Just become, brothers. Just become. And this covers all areas of life, man. I'm talking about even if you're sick. Don't focus on what some doctor's diagnosis says. Don't focus on signs and symptoms. Focus on the energy of a healthy person. See, yeah, man, I know I'm walking. I know I got this knot on my leg. I know I got this scar on my back that's causing all this stuff. I know my lungs are hurting. I know all these things. I know the doctor said I ain't got but 2 years to live. I understand what he's saying. But that's what he's saying is an afterthought of the old version of me. Like now I'm waking up and now I'm putting things in my body that are actually healing me. Now I'm consuming information that's actually healing me. Now I'm putting myself in a circle of friends that are actually healing me. That's what I'm focusing on. And once you become that, brother, the information, all that stuff will become your new truth. And that old diagnosis will fall away. I don't care what it says. I don't care if it says you have 24 hours to move to live, brothers. Move in that new energy. And watch source energy work, bro. Watch source energy work, man. Don't let your results, don't let your results create your mood. Don't let your bank account, don't let your signs and symptoms, don't let what people say about you. Don't let none of that stuff affect your mood, brother, because your mood is what's creating your life. Your mood, the frequency you walk in, the thoughts that you're having, that's what's creating your life, brother. I can't think of nobody that said it better than brother Napoleon, man. I was reading this, not Napoleon, brother Neville Goddard. I was reading this earlier this morning, man. In the Resurrection, y'all know that's definitely one of my top 5 books, man. And Neville said this. Neville said, because your moods continually externalize themselves, you could prophesy from your moods that you, without search, will soon meet certain characters in certain conditions. Brother, I'm going to tell you this. Most of us have no idea that we are prophets. I'm going to say that again. Most of us have no idea that we are both prophets and creators. Most of us have no idea that we are both prophets and creators. Think about this. If you want to lean on the Bible, where the Bible says, in the beginning, God said, let there be light. Boom, and there was light. And then believe that you were made in the image and likeness of that energy, then why wouldn't you have the same traits, brothers? I'm going to read that again. Because your moods continually externalize themselves, you could prophesy your moods that you, without search, would soon meet certain characters or encounter certain conditions. In other words, Neville said, you change your mood, you call your own shots. You change your mood, you call your own shots. That's why I say, brother, don't focus on the results. Because if you're focused on the results, you're letting this third dimension dictate what you create. Anybody can come in and snatch your money. Anybody can come in and steal your car. Anybody can come in and set your house on fire. If that burns to the ground, if you lose that, if your mood shifts, that means you hadn't really become that. That means you were focused on the result, man, instead of just walking in your I am. I made a post yesterday, man. And this is just a portion of the foundation of how we move in the power circle, man. And I said, paraphrasing, I said, I don't care about the ebbs and flows of this world. I will always walk in my highest of frequencies. And what that means is the world can come tumbling down. Your president can do what he wants to do. There can be wars and rumors of wars. Women on this planet can act like how they want to act. You can put any information out that you want to. It's not going to affect who I am.